counselor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Thursday, the 9th of February, 2023. Remember, viewers, I'm a licensed money lender. Those of you who are looking for cash borrow, it's not a problem. You can contact me. You will see some numbers on screen shortly. Remember, Real Talk Credit Union information is offering the public. You could come in and open an account for your kids. Remember, in other financial institutions, you cannot open an account for your kids. So we are giving you the opportunity to become members of the Real Talk Credit Union information. So the numbers are on screen, viewers. It's 339-1670, 242-7690, 238-6716, 267-7325. So you can call the number, viewers. If you are interested in setting up a fixed deposit, we offer 4% presently on a 5-year fixed deposit plan. You can come in and open an account for yourself, for the family member, even for the kids. And if you're looking for cash borrow and you have collateral, it's not a problem. I am a licensed money lender, viewers. So remember, I am also a spiritual consultant. You have a spiritual problem, contact me. One of the same numbers that you saw on screen. Set up an appointment and come see me. So viewers, it's Bacchanal Thursday tonight. Nevertheless, we have a full show for you tonight. But before we go further in our program tonight, we just want to pay tribute. Now, thousands of fans, family members, and well-wishers today bid farewell to Nigerian singer Anil earlier. Now, mourners started to gather at the NCIC Nagar site in Shogunas. That is the Diwali Nagar site in Shogunas. From as early this morning to listen to tributes, to songs, and to speech in honor of the life of the departed singer. Delivering the eulogy is his wife, Shazina Cheryl Beam. Described him as a perfect son, husband, and father. A radio announcer, music and family were his life. Beam founded the Beamers Band, passed away at his home in Europe on Saturday morning. The 48-year-old father of two worked as a radio announcer for 3 decades, claiming 103.1 FM's Catch the Rhythm program daily at 3 p.m. So viewers, tonight, we are going to pay tribute from Real Talk Studios, Real Talk Group of Company. We're going to pay tribute to Mr. Anil Beam. Now, one of his favorite songs that I love is this one that he released recently, the anthem. So tonight, Real Talk with Saieed Ali and other parts of my company. Tonight, we're going to honor Anil Beam by playing this hit that he created before he passed away. And believe me, this song became a hit, not only in Trinidad, but internationally. So this is our tribute to Mr. Beam and his family. Listen to this.
Please listen carefully.
The vocalist is here.
It's a blast from the past.
The Indian anthem is here.
Let the dancing begin.
नज़ारे अपनी मस्तियाँ लुटा लुटा के सो गई सितारे अपनी रोशनी लुटा लुटा के सो गई हर एक शम्मा चल चुकी ना जाने तुम कब आओगे सुहानी रात ढल चुकी ना जाने तुम कब आओगे सुहानी रात ढल चुकी ना जाने तुम कब आओगे तड़प रहे हैं हम यहाँ तड़प रहे हैं हम यहाँ तुम्हारे इंतजार में तुम्हारे इंतजार में खिजा का रंग आ चला है मौसमे बहार में खिजा का रंग आ चला है मौसमे बहार में मौसमे बहार में जहाँ की रुख बदल चुकी ना जाने तुम कब आओगे सुहानी रात ढल चुकी ना जाने तुम कब आओगे सुहानी रात ढल चुकी ना जाने तुम कब आओगे
So viewers, that was the latest song that he sang. It became a hit not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but internationally. Remember, he's also an artist that travels around the globe singing his favorite songs. So we have some shots of the funeral today of the departed singer, Indian singer Anil Beam. So those of you who was not there today, these are some shots of how the funeral looked like. There was a lot of people by the hundreds, I would say thousands of people there, paying their respect to a favorite singer in Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, it's a sad day for us. He will be remembered every time his song is being played on the airwave. He will be remembered as a hero, as a legend, as a man who remixed Indian music in Trinidad and Tobago, a hit. These are some shots that you are seeing there. Believe me, it's really sad, you know. It's really, really sad to know that a fine young gentleman performed Friday night, best performance, and all of a sudden, that's it. Healthy, vibrant at his performance. Saturday morning, Trinidad and Tobago were greeted with the death of Anil Beam. So that is our tribute, viewers, from Real Talk Studios, Real Talk with Saieed Ali, me, members of staff. That is how we pay tribute to Anil Beam. Nevertheless, viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. Stay tuned. Our program is packed for you tonight. We're going to be right back after this.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Realtalk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtalk Group of Companies building at number 14 Carney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook.
So welcome back, viewers. As we start off our program tonight, it's Bacchanal Thursday. The issue of Monday's reappearance of Vindra Nipocooleman case file and the matter of who handed it to the acting Solicitor General, of who located it, continue to be part of the Justice Stanley John's investigations into the matter. Who found the file? We hope Mr. John could say to the public who found the file. Now, question by MP Wade Mark on where the file was found. Attorney General Reginald Amo cited the media released by Johns of the file being found and read out the release and the continuing investigations. Amo said he did not propose to answer the question, which is a subject of a continuing investigations. Listen to Amo.
The report that the file, the Vindra Nipol case file, has been located is contained in a media release which was issued by the lead investigator appointed by me as Attorney General, the Honorable Mr. Justice Stanley John, on the evening of the 6th of February. That reads as follows. In my capacity as lead investigator into the matter, I was this evening, the 6th of February, informed by the Solicitor General, acting, Mrs. Carleen Senior, that the file in question was today handed over to her. I have immediately instructed the Solicitor General acting to secure that file for collection by the investigation team. The reappearance of this file forms part of this continuing investigation. Against the background of that last statement by Justice Stanley John, I do not propose to answer the question, which is the subject of a continuing investigation. That is for the investigation team to investigate and to report on in due course.
Now, viewers, Mark further asked for clarification on who in the Ministry of the AGs and Legal Affairs had handed the file to the Acting Solicitor General, which caused John to issue his release. However, Amos said there was nothing to clarify and stated that the subject of the reappearance and who handed the file or located it continued to be part of Justice John's investigation, on which he will report in due time. Listen to this.
Can I ask the Honourable Minister if he can advise this Honourable Senate who in the Attorney General's office handed that particular lost and found file to the Assistant or the Acting Solicitor General last evening that caused the lead investigator to issue the relevant release that the Attorney General has just read for this Honourable Senate or to this Honourable Senate. Can I ask the Honourable Attorney General to clarify that?
Attorney General.
May I answer that by saying there is nothing to clarify. The subject of the reappearance and who handed that file or located it continues to be part of Justice John's investigation, on which he will report in due course.
So viewers, we hope that Mr. John released information that the public wants to hear. Keep in mind, it's 20 million tax-paying citizen dollars that were awarded. Not Amo money, not Wade Mark money, not Stanley John's money, but money that tax-paying citizens contributed through tax. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So those in authority now, they have to answer. The justice system in Trinidad and Tobago needs to be clarified. There are things that they need to clear up in the public domain. $20 million could have split within the corporation of Trinidad and Tobago to buy material to patch the road. Let's say something now. $20 million could have, let's say, repair 2 schools. Let's talk now here earlier. I'm not hearing earlier. 2386716 is the number to call in. You can tell me a file gone missing, a murder case file gone missing after a lawsuit filed, and money were released on the lawsuit. All of a sudden, a file just appeared. Was that willfully done? I don't know. I'm just asking. Now, lastly, question on whether the documents that went missing were contained in that file that was found and handed over. However, the question was, it dissolved. All I feel is joke. Listen to this.
Can I ask, through you, Mr. President, if the Honourable Attorney General could tell Magician Mumford exactly whether the documents that went missing and that were presented in that particular case,
but on a point of order,
involving Vindra Nipocooleman, whether those documents were contained in the file that was found and handed over to the Acting Solicitor General. Can the Honourable Attorney General advise this honorable Senate?
Senator Mark, that question doesn't arise.
Will you hear that? So how sure, Trinidad and Tobago, are we sure that nobody tampered with that file? How sure are we sure that that was the original file? How sure are we sure that this case file was not edited? How sure are we sure? That question was disallowed in the House. Imagine that, $20 million of taxpayer money being awarded, and a simple question in the House cannot be answered. And all I want to tell me, I just be bashing? No. Hey, hear this now. I contributed to that 20 million, you know. I want you to understand that. I contributed to that $20 million that was awarded to these men and them. That's the reason why I am like this. Paying taxes. Question cannot be answered. And you're going to tell me I'm going to just stand here on my program and say, well, okay, so and so happened. No, 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 no. You know who contributed to that $20 million? CPEP. Fast food workers, taxi drivers, store clerks, those people that sell sneakers on the side of the road, the doubles man, the taxi driver, you name it, the rubbish truck man and all. They paid tax and contributed to $20 million that somebody just take up gesso and award it. All of a sudden, a file appeared now, and you go tell me Amo can't give answer? A question was disallowed? And I must stay quiet. $20 million in taxpayer money awarded, and Saieed must stay quiet. Saieed must not talk about it. Saieed must not mention it. Saieed must not even raise the topic, because I blasted. No, I am standing for my rights. My tax were contributed to the $20 million that was awarded. 2386716 is all the money went there too, you know. All your money went there too, you know, if all don't know that. The money didn't come from none of those big boys' pockets, you know. It didn't come from no minister pocket. It's your money that you contributed. And imagine, you contributed that money, and we don't have proper roads. We don't have proper schooling. We don't have proper bridges. But Saieed must stay quiet. Saieed must say about that. That is where you're wrong. That is where you are wrong. The information on the file resurfaced was released via a statement from John, who is the lead investigator into the file disappearance. John and Justice Nelson were announced last week to probe the file disappearance after Amos said the file was missing. So who knows if this file was the original file? Who knows if paper, if statements were shifted, were edited? And you are wait now, man, and all of this allow that question? Thank God it have people like me. Thank God it have people like me to ask the proper question on national television, so the people, they could seek some form of clarification. Call her good night. Hello.
And that, Calypso is a way of informing the population about what is going on in the country. I mean, that is what my understanding about it. Successive governments have got serious, flacking from these Calypsonians. What I am reading in the papers, that, a promoter was asked, someone to present a show, and he was told by the promoter, no anti-PNM jokes. This other lady gypsy dress, sing some song to not really interested in PNM, and she was not allowed to perform. What it is really is this state of dictatorship. And another thing, sir, look at what is going on. Crocus singing something again, Isn't the dead singing about Satmaraj and all? What it is to these people are Indian people, you know, are objects of ridicule? Why is it that the Prime Minister cannot say, no, people should have freedom of speech, people should have freedom of expression? You know, if anybody has seen about the Prime Minister and that, you know what was going on there? This is purely dictatorship, sir. Concerning the file, sir. The file was not missing. What is it really going on? A senior government official had that file from the DPP office. Now, what was the need again to pay to retired judge hefty amount of money? We are already losing $20 million. What is the need again? The file has been from why cannot, you know, why is it going ahead? And then they say we don't have money, sir. This is why I tell you again. It is misrepresentation. We have people at the helm who is misrepresenting our money, sir. And it is time that the population get up. Now, all those Indian people, people of Indian ethnicity, it is you who want to patronize man like Kroko and everyone, allowing him to bash the Indian community. Stay away, keep your money, and you will see in no time there will be no Calypso turns again. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, it's that time now where we have to go for a short commercial break. But when we come back from that break, we're going to touch on a little bit of the JSC upset as COP, the Commissioner of Police elect, earlier skip session. We're going to go into that after this break.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Real Talk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Real Talk Group of Companies building at number 14 Grooney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Remember, those of you that are having spiritual problem, you can contact me. Those of you who are looking for cash borrow, you can contact me. And those of you who are looking for 4% on a fixed deposit, you can contact Real Talk Credit Union information. It's 4%. And you know, I like to break down things so you would understand. Now, let's just say you have $100,000 sitting down in a financial institution and you're getting 1%. 1% you are getting. So, 1 year at 1% will give you $1,000 on $100,000. Whereas we are giving you 4% on that same $100,000 per year. So you are getting $3,000 more on a fixed deposit at our company. So let's just say you have that fixed deposit of $100,000 now for 10 years. or 5 years in another financial institution, in 5 years you're going to be getting $5,000. Right. So that same $100,000, in 5 years at our company, you're going to be getting $20,000. That is $15,000 more than you are presently getting. So what are you going to do? You're going to be like, but if I break that, I got to pay a penalty fee. But the thing is, if you break your fixed deposit of 1%, you might have to pay $1,000. But think about this. Breaking that fixed deposit will benefit you and other financial institution. You know why? You're getting $3,000 more per year at our company. So think about that. Just think about that. So as we move on to this now, Commissioner of Police designated Ola Haywood Christopher dodged the firing line yesterday after she failed to appear before what would have been her first Joint Select Committee meeting since being the selected for the top position by members of the Parliament last Friday. However, while Christopher gave what appeared a valid reason for her abstinence, JSC members on both sides expressed their disappointment in her absence. Imagine that first meeting, and you don't make her excuse. Among those to reprimand Haywood Christopher was JSC Chairman Keith Scotland, who said her absence impacted the course of the inquiry. Despite this, Scotland told members that he did receive a correspondence from Haywood Christopher explaining her absence. However, committee members Jayanti Lakshmidal said, with the public pleading for answers to the spate of violence, crime, and murder, members were prepared to put pointed questions to Haywood Christopher, and her absence was disappointing. Imagine that, eh? Your first meeting, you didn't appear. According to Scotland, you sent in a correspondent. A valid reasons for not being there. Call a good night. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, go right ahead, you're live.
Yes, sir. That folder is about 8 inches by 12 by about 4 inches thick with that document. I really can't see how that whole folder with those documents went missing or disappeared. Saeed, you know if tomorrow morning when I wake up, I hear in the news that the Red House missing, I ain't gonna doubt it or leave it.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Moving along, viewers. The pepper spray regime is on course for implementation, but there has been a recent threat to a prison officer as the government continues to struggle with illegal communication in prison. National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines confirmed this in a statement as he was piloting the Firearm Amendment Bill. He added that in all categories under the pepper spray regime, persons have applied to the Commissioner of Police for permits as the law requires. Listen to Fitzy.
The use of these non-lethal items graduated up as the circumstance, as the response requires, is very important. No longer does the police officer have to go for his gun to deal with a knife threat, or a man with a powerful man or person of insane bent or some such thing. The use of these non-lethal applications allows much more, and therefore the revamped use of force policy takes these into account. And as I indicated earlier, municipal police function largely in the same environment. As for pepper spray, before I proceed, let me say for any unwary minds or souls outside of this chamber that might be listening, this is already up and running, available to distributors, to importers, and to members of the public. And in fact, in all those categories, persons have applied to the Commissioner of Police as the law requires. So the pepper spray regime is on course.
So now, viewers, Minister of National Security Fitzgerald Hines have stated that under the Firearm Amendment Act 2022, the Commissioner of Prison can grant permission to any off-duty prison officer to have a firearm or ammunition if the Commissioner feels that the safety of the officer is under threat. He said officers will be issued with firearm users identification card, which will be similar to size to ID cards to allow for more security features such as the FUL number, address, and other information. Listen to this.
This card is necessary because at the moment, a firearm user's license currently in paper-based form, a little booklet for those who will know, I'm so advised, can be impractical for firearm holders to carry around on a daily basis and can easily become damaged and have become damaged. As such, this bill seeks to introduce a firearm user identification card, which is likely to be similar in size and nature, expected to be similar in size and nature to national ID cards and driver's permits, which will present a practical and convenient means of identifying and certifying that the holder of a firearm is appropriately licensed to carry same. This card would contain matters such as the firearm user's license number, the name and address of the holder of the license, a photograph of the holder of the license, such electronic security features as the Commissioner of Police may determine, such further particulars as may be stated on the firearm user's license as Commissioner of Police may determine, and any other conditions which the Commissioner of Police may determine.
Now, viewers, Hines added that some prison officers have been gunned down by criminal elements, and law enforcement officers risk their lives to protect citizens and the countries, and it is incumbent to effect laws which can afford such officers protection against criminal elements. Listen to this man.
In recent times, a matter to which this particular bill is focused, prison officers, some of whom have unfortunately been mercilessly gunned down by these criminal elements. Our law enforcement officers risk their lives to protect us, all of us as citizens, our properties, the country at large, the investors' property in Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore, this government, Mr. President, recognizing that it is our duty under the Constitution, morally, legally, and in every wise, it is our duty to make laws to protect the peace, order, and good governance of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. President. And it is incumbent on us, we consider, to effect laws which can afford such officers protection against these horrendous and menacing criminal elements.
I'm going to say something a little bit shocked there. The minister also stated that in TNT, there is no constitutional right for anyone to carry a firearm. Thousands of persons are permitted to have firearm in their possession only if they have the requisite license. Listen to our Minister of Security.
Mr. President, in Trinidad and Tobago, there is no inherent or constitutional right for any person to carry a firearm, and this is in contradiction to other jurisdictions where that is part of their constitutional arrangement. That's not the case in Trinidad and Tobago. Notwithstanding that, thousands of persons, many persons are permitted to carry firearms, allowed to purchase them, to acquire them, and to have them in their possession, but only if he or she holds the requisite license prescribed by the statute of the Firearms Act, Chapter 1601. The Firearms Act does, however, set out the specific persons who are allowed to be in possession of a firearm without a license, Mr. President, since the use of the firearm can be regarded as integral to the performance of such persons' duties and can offer protection should the need arise.
So imagine that, we do have rights. We could carry, if we're being granted. Boy, let me tell you something. We're going down to the dogs, as they say. It's not improving. It is not improving. Hines said, based on previous incidents, prison officers have been gunned down while off duty. He said, between January 2021 and December 2022, 88 prison officers have reported receiving threats, while 16 been murdered over the last 10 years. Do you think they would kill a prison officer just so? Just saying something. I just saying. Do you think? So we are going for a short commercial break. But when we come back from, we have a call? Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed, and to all your listeners.
Go right ahead, my friend.
I have to pick a bone with the Commissioner of Police, the Lady Commissioner of Police. I think she was disrespectful to the Joint Select Committee, which is a committee set up by Parliament.
Correct.
Now listen to this. Parliament appointed her, basically gave her the job. And your first interaction with a committee set up by Parliament, you disrespect it. Just like a boss, if a boss gives you a job and he tell you, I want to see you Monday morning brighter than in my office, you could tell him, the hell, I ain't coming. Make an excuse. What the boss don't want to do? Not to fire him right away. Before she started the job, she make an excuse. She was waiting for instructions or what is to call it? Instructions or advice or something like that. No, she's a failure already, man. Oh, gosh. No, the other thing is, I'm going to say the whip. The person you just had on the television there. I've seen everything about Joint Select Committee. He's lying inside there, boy. What consequences he has to suffer? Because that is a parliamentary committee, and I suspect you should be speaking the truth. Like the whole of government on a lying spree out. You have the Honorable Attorney General, you have the email gate, all of them making lies and following up with more lies. He's supposed to stand some consequences for lying about. He didn't ask Gigi for after the partners and them, some of you, and he says police officers. But they had to be partners because he said he was in the police service. Garbage in, garbage out. He was an instructor in the police service. So what he put in when he was an instructor, is that was getting away now. Garbage in, garbage out. Go on. Have a nice night.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, President of the Prison Officers Association, Ciron Richard, said while he is thankful the Firearm Amendment Bill 2022 was passed. We're going to go more into this, viewers, after this break.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saeed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Realtalk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtalk Group of Companies building at number 14 Grooney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook. Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Welcome back, viewers. So we have a caller on line. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
Saeed, I don't know if you could answer this question first before I start talking.
We'll try to.
What is really the criteria for a police commissioner?
I know it's supposed to be, you must have to have some sort of background in crime fighting.
Right? You have to be out on the field, taking some hot sun and fighting the criminals.
You have to know how to plan strategies, raids.
Right?
Special
so I can't see where's the big hooray about the first woman commissioner of police.
Correct.
Who don't have no record, no track record and nothing. Never heard of her. Never heard her name come up in no raid or no crackdown on drugs or nothing of the sort. Everything side in this country is politics. Politics playing a terrible role in this country, and until that is stopped, side this country would never ever get better. The last regime we had before this one, bringing two retired whiteys, bring them here, and side they live larger than large. They ate and drank of the best. They had all the perks. They lived the bourgeois life, right? Their children got schooled privately. They were chauffeured, right? So none of them go in their side and doing better. They're not doing better politics. Only politics.
Thank you, my dear. President of the Prison Officers Association, Ciaran Richards, said while he is thankful the Firearm Amendment Bill 2022 was passed in the Senate, he wants to highlight that every prison officer in the country is under threat by very nature of their jobs. So what about the businessmen who have business running? What about the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago who have their family and their house and their vehicle and their assets to protect? Don't you think we deserve gun too? Don't you think that? The bill will now allow the Prison Commissioner Authority to grant FULs to prison officers deemed to be under threat. Additionally, the director of the Strategic Security Agency, a state-run surveillance and intelligence gathering agency, is also empowered to give agency members the legal rights to be armed. Richards stated that what is more important than the threat assignment or assessment will be the officer's ability to possess a firearm outside of work, and issues many senators raised during the debate. He added that the threat assessment board has not operated to the satisfactory of all prison officers in the past, with many believing that FULs were issued based on relationship and not on assessment. He said the real assessment should be whether an officer is willing and fit to carry a gun, and not whether or not their lives are under threat, since every prison officer's life is under threat by the nature of their jobs. Listen to this.
And while I am all for protecting the lives of prison officers, we must also understand that a firearm is a serious responsibility. Are we, as the Commissioner of Prison or the Director of the Strategic Agency, going to ensure that an assessment is done on the emotional state of the home, and there has not been a history of threats or conflict to the point where this weapon can be used on a spouse? Are those persons going to also ensure that there's a safe area to store this weapon so that children cannot have access to it? We have seen a number of situations, unfortunate situations in Trinidad and Tobago, where most recently a Coast Guard officer turned the gun on his spouse. Tragic. This is after she left. Where police officers have turned the guns on each other in situations described as love triangles. So, giving someone a firearm, even in the instance of seeking to protect that person's life under threat, should also come with a fulsome assessment on the suitability of that person to have a firearm and or ammunition.
So you see, he has a point. He has a point. Caller, good night.
Mr. Saieed, great program as usual.
Thank you, my friend.
The citizens of this country, and you know, the citizens of this country must understand. Rowley said, everybody in this country is stupid. He said, you all are stupid. I want to give him a good message that he thinks everybody in this country is stupid. Maybe most of his supporters, not the great majority of the citizens of this country. And Mr. Said, all the affairs in this country, your program is the #1 current affairs program, but you're also the #1 past affairs, current affairs and future affairs, because we know about the affairs from your program. The citizens got to know about the affairs of Kangaroo and the Garcias and them. And this is what I'm saying here tonight. I want to direct the police to these notorious gang members, you know, because this thing with the file went missing. Sit down, Saeed, you're an intelligent fellow,
Yes.
citizen, all you're intelligent. This was a whole stage managed show, you know, because the U.S. government, the U.S. authority know that this government is funding criminal activities. So that file went missing deliberately for this government to fund these criminal gangs and criminal activities, and the world know it. And to that police commissioner, I said it on this program, expect nothing good from she. This government only like don't see head people around them. Mr. Saeed, I also want this nation to know Grenada reduced the VAT on the electricity bill by 7.5%. Thank you very much. Keep up the great work.
Correct, correct. Well said. Well said. Hear this now. I got light bill today. I used to pay about 5,500 for lights in my 3-story building. When I got light bill today, the light bill went up to 6,800 and some odd dollars. Imagine that. Imagine that. Almost $1,800 increase. So I could imagine now, for households who have air condition, what's going to happen with it? listen this, an agriculture minister and agriculture ministry employees was denied bail and sent to prison by a Couva magistrate after she appeared in court yesterday, charged with several counts of corruption. A 34-year-old patrolwoman employed with the Ministry of Agriculture and the Office of the Commissioner of State Land was charged with the following offense when she appeared before Magistrate Alexandra Prince. Charged with corruption, agreed to accept for herself the sum of $10,000 and corruptly accepting for herself the sum of $10,000. Charged with corruptly agreeing to accept for herself the sum of $8,000 and corruptly accepting for herself the sum of $8,000, and charged for corruptly agreeing to accept for herself the sum of $4,500. Well, I hear how much by accepting something. What has happened? Let me read this again. Charged with corruptly agreeing to accept for herself the sum of $8,000 and corruptly accepting for herself the sum of $8,000. So one charge leads into two. See? So be very careful when your officers hold you. Now, as a result, a search warrant was executed at the house in Couva district where several documents were found and seized, and a female suspect was arrested. In the Commissioner of State Land office, you're working there? Let's see what is the outcome of this case. Police have arrested and charged a man after he was found with marijuana hidden in a packet early on Wednesday morning. Police officers were on an exercise at around 12:10 a.m. on Belmont Circular Road near the Port of Spain General Hospital when they noticed a white Nissan Tiida turning from Charlotte Street and passing a traffic light which was still on red. Police intercepted the car and spoke with the driver, who said he was told by a relative not to stop at certain traffic lights at night for his own safety. Officers searched the car and noticed a scent of marijuana. After searching the driver's jacket, police found 4 candy snack packets containing 75.1 grams of marijuana. The man was arrested and later charged for possession. You break a traffic light, if a police in the area, they must flag you down. You bring a red light upon yourself. Upon yourself, you brought that. So you might lose your license for breaking traffic light and then being charged now for having possession of marijuana. So there's a good future. Breaking traffic light, there's a serious suspension of license there, you know. So viewers, nevertheless, I'm Saieed Ali. You are viewing Real Talk with Saieed Ali. There's a rerun of this program tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. It's Thursday night, the 9th. Friday the 10th will be Fire Friday. But nevertheless, those of you who are looking for cash, contact my office. You want to set up a fixed deposit with our company, not a problem. It's 4%. Remember, everybody's money is insured. You are insured. You have a spiritual problem? Contact me. Contact me. So viewers, until we meet again, I want you to be safe. Don't look for dispute tonight. And I'll see you tomorrow, God willing. Good night.